No swearing.
Fuck, Dave. I thought that was obvious.
Fuck.
Would you please welcome from a place called Winnipeg? I've been here at gas stations.
Sing it, Burton.
Bubba Burton.
That was good, man. Welcome to the Winnipeggers, number 42, talking about sports.
Yeah.
And it's been a pretty great week so far. Thanks to everybody who checked us out for the Cheap Ass Club, which the rating went down a bit for that. But, it's kind of hard to be talking about blood-sucking freaks and hard gore and gornos and get people's attention.
It's not for everybody.
And we're not for everybody either.
Well, there you go.
That's to be said. Quickly, just a quick little segue here. A fellow Winnipegger, she was actually mentioned in First Girlfriend's First Crush. One of my biggest crushes in high school. Her name is Roxane Falk. We just found out that she passed away recently. So prayers and love to Roxane. She was super hot, man. Super hot, like in high school.
Yeah.
I had the biggest crush on her. And like there was one time I remember I was at a slow dance with her at the Monterey. Have we done a show on the Monterey yet?
No, we have to.
Okay.
I'll add it to the list.
And I remember I was I thought, well, maybe if I'm going to, I was actually was slow dancing with her. And I was like, well, maybe if I try and grab her lower thigh, not thinking that her ass is in the way. So I actually grabbed like her ass. And I remember she didn't like punch me or anything. It was so cool. And
that's a wonderful story. Rest in peace.
No, but that's a good memories though. Good memories, right?
But that's a horrible excuse. So you grab a chick's ass and you said, oh, he's trying to grab your thigh.
The lower, like your hamstring.
Yeah. I didn't know that they were connected. I didn't know anything about anatomy.
I know. But anyways, let's have a cheers to Roxane Falk.
Okay.
Cheers. God bless her and wherever she might be, and we're thinking about her.
Twain Drive disciple. Cheers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's right. She lived on Twain Drive as well. I think I dropped her off there once too, and then I went and ship bombed your house as I was driving away.
Egged me.
We just want to say though that I was in the wild this week. I went to the Kentucky Derby. Well, not literally, but it was at Tampa at the Downs there, and this guy walked past me and he yells out, "Winnipeggers!" And I was wearing a green and yellow suit, and someone thought that he said "Go Packers," like the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
And I was like, "No, it's the Winnipeggers. Like that's my show." So he came by again, and I said, "You like the Winnipeggers?" He said, "Yeah, I love the Winnipeggers." And I was like, "Can you do a video?" So it was Todd and Pat are the two people here, and this is what they had to say about the Winnipeggers.
We're at the Kentucky Derby, kind of, and look at this. What do we find? Fucking Winnipeggers, Rybo, baby! Yeah, Rybo?
Rybo is the
We
best.
love Rybo.
Sorry, Spivik. Speedy.
Yeah.
The word on the street, Rybo rules.
Oh, God.
They got good taste.
I had my time. Nothing lasts forever. It's okay. Ryan's here now. A couple of meatheads, whatever.
They almost sounded like they're from Canada too, like fucking Winnipeggers. Now I want you to watch it one more time and watch the guy over my shoulder. He looks like a really drunk Tom Waits, and this guy was hanging around the whole time, and he wouldn't go away. And he is photobombing like a mofo. So watch over my shoulder, the guy behind me.
Here at the Kentucky Derby, kind of, and look at this.
Look at him with the hat on.
Fucking Winnipeggers, Rybo, baby! Yeah, Rybo?
I was just puffing a ciggy.
Sorry, Spivik. Speedy.
Yeah.
Fuck yourself.
The word on the street, Rybo rules.
He's got that big drunk bulbous nose too.
Maybe he was a Spiewak fan.
Yeah,
and,
I didn't get a good look at him. I was having round 2 of being disappointed.
You thought maybe this time they'd say Spivak rules.
Yeah, maybe it'll change. We were just kidding.
But that was very cool stuff there. It's always great to see the fans, the Winnipeggers, starting to get popular, starting to get over. And we actually got a letter this week about the corporation. One of the updates from Barry Boobs about the corporation, and he had to say, "Oh, geez, I guess I should cover up those email addresses."
Nice. Maybe just read it.
Email away. Maybe Stacy can edit it or something like that.
Nice work.
I'll take that off the screen. Didn't think about that. If we have to edit that out, we will. But maybe Stacy can cover it up a bit. But we did get an email from the corporation about the corporation from Barry Boobs. He said, "Hi, Dave and Rybo." He left me off. Yeah. I continue to present the show to buyers, having some good response, and hope to have some serious interest soon. Enjoy watching the show, and your chemistry continues to grow. Talk soon. Best, Barry. So, nice. Corporation is they're starting to know who we are. I have to say at this point,
they're holding the carrot. The carrot's going back and forth. We're hungry. I didn't get that email. It's weird.
Well, it's sent to your email address.
Yeah, weird.
You're on here.
Yeah, I'll have to check it.
Listen, hey, everybody's got your email, so if they want to check and see if it's legit, send them show ideas, send them pictures. Rybo's email wasn't real, but Dave's probably was. So there you go. So that's good news. Update on the corporation, and we have some fan mail from last week as well. I don't know which ones are which because they'll get mixed up here, but we'll just read them out. This is from E's and B's.
E's and B's.
Jeez, thanks again for the push. We're glad to have you guys on anytime, Jericho, Spiewak, and Rybo. Much love from us. So
wow, they wanted us to be on their show. That's it.
Open invite from E's and B's podcast. Yeah. So which Rybo pointed out, E's and B's is spelt wrong.
Yeah. And Ryan will have to check his schedule. There'll be a lot of back and forth.
No kidding. Jeez Louise. It's like impossible to try and book a show with this guy. The great Rod Stickler, he's back. Great cheap ass club, fellas. Spewy there is someone else who shares your family name, Alice Spivak Hyatt.
Yeah.
From wow, so is that Alice's really her last name is Spivak?
On the show, yeah, it was Spivak. Yeah.
You've never told me that. I've known you for 35 years.
I forgot. That's the show's a long time ago. It's an old show. Yeah, that's.
Well, that's an old name, so it's perfect.
Is it? I don't even know.
Winnipeg. Oh, here's the return of Spewy memes. Great stories on this week's Winnipeggers. I only saw Bloodsucking Freaks for the first time when I Am Jericho was on the Real Joe Bob last year. Shout out to Hall and regular sized oats.
Awesome.
Nice. Do you see the oats there? That's the great Louis DeJesus, aka Ralphus, right there.
Yeah, I think he did porno.
Well, that's what we said. He did Puerno, and he had to stand on like a suitcase or something in order to go downtown to Chinatown.
All right.
So that's some good letters there from the fine folks who were watching the show, and we got some great feedback as well on the great George Clinton. And people were very excited to see him on the show, which was great. He was an awesome guest. We have a sparkly 181 who says, "I can't say enough about Winnipeggers. You guys are the bomb." And Ian Alex says, "Love the random cameos each week. Never know who will make an appearance. Another seriously funny episode." So this week, we got a great special guest, huge fan of the show, and specifically personally asked me if he could do this, be a part of this. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the greatest pro wrestlers of all time, Baron von Raschke is here.
Oh, great.
And
ladies and gentlemen, what a nice crowd. You know, I have an important job to do tonight. I'm going to introduce the Winnipeggers. Guess where they're from? Yeah, that's right, Winnipeg. And it's a comedy troupe like no other, featuring Rybo, Spewy, Irvas. It's a great comedy group, a great troupe, and that is all the family needs to know. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. That is all you need to know.
Oh wow, that's awesome. He's alive, and that's great.
Yeah.
Man. I haven't.
Is that like a nervous tick at this point now? He just does that
He just does that.
uncontrollably.
I thought he was very well dressed, leather jacket,
Yeah,
red sweater. He looked
he
very
was
good
my
for-
favorite, man. When we were kids, AWA wrestling, nobody was better than the Baron. And then when you started wrestling and you came to Winnipeg for the first time after leaving Calgary, this is like 1991. He was at a match that you were at, and I got his autograph, and Ryan did too, and we were just like blown away. We're hanging out with the Baron. It was so cool. And,
He was
and the tulip.
Yeah, I was gonna say I also got the Tulips autograph, which wasn't quite as amazing, but
He was the first guy that I ever did a story on for the Red River. What was the name of the paper? The Red River Projector. It was the school newspaper, and I had just done a tour with him where I did the ring crew, and then I just took all the conversations that I had with him when we were traveling for the ring crew and just wrote a story about it as if I had done an official interview with him. And I thought he'll never notice. And I ran into him like a couple of years later. It's like, a nice story in the Projector. I didn't even know I was getting interviewed for the 2 weeks we were hanging out.
Fatwell Blackwell.
Yeah, if you're from Winnipeg, everyone loves the Baron from that time frame. So thanks to great Baron
Thank you, Baron.
for joining us tonight. And speaking of great, before we get into sports and all the other things that we got, I know Dave's got some issues that he needs to discuss. But this week, a great sponsor, one of the greatest sponsors that we've ever had. You want something for Christmas or for a birthday, you just get this catalog and you're all set. Consumers Distributing from Winnipeg, very, very excited to have them on board here on the Winnipeggers this week.
Winnipeg's very own Consumers Distributing. Come and get the best prices and an okay selection too. Paper and pencil is our way. So we give you a pencil, a little pencil, and a piece of paper, and you can fill it out for your order. You can even take the pencil to the golf course. Hope you break 90. Hee 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 hee. Consumers Distributing, Monday to Sunday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Who's doing these voiceovers?
I don't know. I think the music is awesome too. It never changes. What's worse, the voice, the music, or the fact that I screw up the playing of it every single week? It's hard. Like I said, listen, you guys don't know. You don't know what it's like to be the producer. It's not my fucking bag,
Behind
baby.
blue eyes.
If I had some kind of an issue or something, if I had a section on a show perchance where I had a chance to really lash out and say a few things, I would do that. But unfortunately, I really don't have any spot on the show to do that. But Dave, you do. And has there been some stuff that's been bothering you over the last little bit? Because I know you've been talking about it as always.
There's a couple things. We have a group text. We got a few group texts. Sometimes people are away from the group text, not to name any names, but Rybo. Well, yeah, that's my intro.
I love how you're still into the rant. You didn't notice it for the first 10 seconds.
I get really pissed off when but we're on these group texts and you'll be talking and Chris and I will be talking about the show, and then Ryan will go away on a canoe trip for 48 hours or something, and then he comes back and he just starts liking old posts or old things, and it drives me nuts. It's like, dude, I'm so over what we were talking about. That was funny 48 hours ago, not now. So Ryan, if you could
do that, yeah.
get that in check.
it's funny for me when I read it. And that's why I
I know, but because of
I'm
you not being
ignoring
glued
it.
to your phone, you can't have that luxury of going back in time. So
Okay, I'll
just
stop liking anything.
like
any
it on
post
your
you
own.
put out or anything.
Yeah, like you're on social media. I don't like this old new technology that's happening in cars. My girlfriend has a car that's newer than my old Honda, and it's got like Bluetooth and stuff. Every time I go in, it's taking my phone and it's saying like, would you like to download contacts? I don't even know what that means. And there's a lot of stuff, and I can't just drive it. And I'm constantly yelling at it and trying to hit the stereo to shut it off. I don't even know how to shut off the stereo in the thing. And when I sit in it, the seat moves to her body or her height, like that kind of
Right.
thing. And it's just like, come on, man. Like, I drive an old Honda. It's reliable. I got 320,000 kilometers on it. It doesn't have anything. It's got AM, FM cassette and a little tiny mini plug that I can put my iPhone into. That's all I need. I don't need anything else than that. Yeah, I don't like the screen mirror thing either. That's another thing I'm having a problem with. I couldn't remember my Crave TV password, so I've been trying to watch Curb Your Enthusiasm on Apple TV, and I got to go up here and it's screen mirror, and it works half the time, and it kind of bounces around and comes back and forth. So, I mean, I could go on all night. I mean, what do you want me to talk? Mornings? I hate mornings. I don't like the morning. I don't like being constipated. I don't like doing taxes. There's a lot of shit that bugs me, but those are normal things, I think. Not many people are morning type people. I don't think, but
Except for morning people. But.
Except for morning people. So those are a couple things. I don't like worrying. I'm a worrier, but I hate it. I don't like having to worry. It's just part of me. But so those are just a few things.
One thing that you mentioned last week that's really been sticking in my craw that I think about all the time is stupid phone cords. Like, I cannot get this fucking phone. Will not. Yes, that is a Van Halen case, which is cool. This is not cool because every time I plug it in, it goes bzz, and it goes off, and it comes on bzz, and it goes off, and it comes on and it goes bzz. Like, what the hell? The phone cord never fucking works. And I went and bought like 3 new ones directly from the Apple store, and they make a big deal of it. Oh, the Apple store is coming to your house. They'll be there at 12:30, and it comes like in a box, like Rybo discussed before. You literally need a knife to open the box, cut the plastic, take the thing out. It gets caught under your damn face. See that? It came from that. Gets caught under your thumb, and it still doesn't work.
That's the cost of not going out in the wild. You go out in the wild, they probably just take them out of the box for you, but we don't want to go out in the wild these days, so you get these phone cords. I know, they all suck. I buy 20 of them at a time, and they sit in a drawer, and we go through them. We probably go through 40 a year. Like, it's just ridiculous. It's such a bad setup. I miss BlackBerry.
You like that saying in the wild, don't you?
Oh, I love it, man. I love that.
Would you say today everything outside of the Winnipeggers is in the wild?
That's right. Yeah. The second this show's over and I got to walk 1 foot that way, I'm in the wild. Yeah. I really am.
Well, great intro. And moving on to the topic, to the plute of the show. And we're talking about, of course, sports. And this one was written by Dave, I believe.
Written. I mean, it's just an idea, right? It's like
that's what I've been saying every week. Just follow along.
Yeah,
no,
yes.
but you did write down sports.
Yeah, I did. I wrote it down.
I
said it. Yeah.
So you did kind of write the show then.
Yeah. I've got all our future ideas on one Post-it note. We're fucked.
Well, we're constantly running out, according to you. So we must not have a lot of Post-it notes. You turn the camera to the right, it's just a wall full of Post-it notes.
A wall full of worry. Yeah, sports. Sports is the idea for tonight.
All right, so you want to kick it off? So we're talking about sports like when we were kids.
Yeah,
like high school sports and
earlier
community club sports or whatever it may be. Right, gotcha.
Community club sports for sure. That was the big thing when I guess you were about 5 or 6 years old when that started opening up. And I remember my first time. It was always a co-ed thing. So I would play soccer, and my dad was actually the coach one year. And there was me and all the kids, and Cheryl Downey, this girl who was a great athlete, she was the star player. And I swear to God, it's like Downey was the son my dad never had. He couldn't stop. Oh, Downey's so good. She scores. She knows how to move the ball around, everything. Me, the ball would go rolling by me, and I'd be playing with a dirt castle. Or remember newspapers had that yellow strap that was around them?
Yes!
I'd find one of those in the field, and I'd run with it behind me like it was a kite. And that was my introduction to sports, and my dad was so disappointed. I could hear his, come on, and I'd hear him laugh as he's yelling at me, but she was the star.
She was hot, too.
Well, we were 6 years old at the time.
When she was 17, 18, she was pretty.
She was a pretty girl at 17.
Just going through all my high school crushes today.
Yeah, I mean, you get a little bit older, and you're and you get into playing more sports, and I did a lot of basketball.
The cue?
And,
okay.
Yeah, there I am. I was a basketball player. Now, unfortunately, you can't see my legs. I had a pro-K upper body. I had a little bit of a business kind of mullet look. Right. That's Bubba Beaton next to me, number 20.
Famous from being one of the guys who burned down the Biffy years later.
Right, exactly. And all I can recall about this is I always had this stupid bit. I had these skinny, long legs, and I used to do this bit called Crazy Legs, and it was kind of like Martin Short's character, like Ed Grimley type thing. And I'd run around, and all these dirtbag friends of mine at the time, not you guys, I hadn't really met you yet, but they were all like, ha, 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 and it was all like that self-inflicted humor. And they all would show up to the games, and I'm in playoff games and stuff, and I'm on the foul line getting ready to shoot, and you'd hear stuff like, hey, crazy legs, do crazy legs. Like the gym's packed full of sports people, and these guys are up there smoking Expert A lights and heckling me. So that was really fun. And I also had I've said this before, but I had some back acne. So I was always usually wearing a t-shirt underneath the thing, because if I didn't, I'd get a little bit of a zit back chant. Like, what a school that we went to, right? Just horrible. But I was really good at making the team. I wasn't the best player in the world, but I could make the team, if that makes sense. I was good in practices. But when the people are chanting at you, you get nervous and everything. And then you were showing a previous photo, and that was the curling days of. It was kind of in high school. They would do stuff. It's like you get this easy credit if you decided to do a sport. And I think I played softball and I played curling. And curling's got to be the weirdest sport I've ever played. It doesn't make sense unless there's a bar connected to it. It doesn't. It's just kind of, you're just cold and you look like an idiot. There I am in the middle.
Is that a Huntley in there somewhere?
Wearing a Led Zeppelin pin on that jacket. Looks like a Huntley. I don't know. That's Paul Mei next to me.
Paul, is that Paul Mei?
Yeah, that is. So curling, I mean, that was just
Don't bring up that son of a bitch, Lawrence Chang. He owes me money.
Oh, that's him maybe on the other side. And there's those were my friends. It was kind of a nerd night out or something.
Jeez, did ever look at you guys.
Yeah. Sweep. Hurry hard. I never got curling anyway. It was, but then when I played it when I was older and there was a bar connected to it, it was like, this is the best game in the world.
That explains why everybody's plays curling. Because they just go to the bar and get fucking loaded, eh?
Yeah, they like it. And I guess the ice helps them sober up, or it gives them an extra high. You know, it's very cold.
And Americans don't understand curling at all. They do not. They're not having it.
Yeah.
It doesn't help you pick up chicks, that's for sure. None of those people in that curling photo ever got laid until like 19 years old. Maybe you, Dave. Maybe you were. Yeah,
no, I didn't either. But you have to. It was the curling pants that was the turnoff for the women. You can't walk around in those. Kev had a pair. Kev would wear those a lot.
What are curling pants, Dave?
It's kind of like a tight, weird polyester slacks that usually they're just black, and then maybe they have like a red line, like the Baron von Raschke's wrestling pants, that kind of thing. The claw. That's what they would look like. Call back. Yeah, call back.
But that's pants. That's awesome.
For part one of sports, that's what I got.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Now, Rybo, you sent in probably one of the best pictures you've ever sent in, and definitely the best picture of the evening of you getting ready to play hockey. And this is like just what a great picture this is. Look at this. Look at that guy right there.
Oh, wow.
Wow, look at that. I had the Ron Duguay haircut.
Did you ever?
Wow, you look good. Cooperalls too.
This is a rare moment when the guy looks better now than you looked then, I'd have to say.
I think he looks great there.
That's been happening my whole life. It just gets better and better and better. That was basically when I was starting to really get out of sports. Not that I was ever really huge into sports. I mean, I played soccer, was my first sport, and then hockey was my last sport in that order. At this point I was kind of growing out my hair,
right?
And I was like, you know what, I got the Lars hair coming. I remember when my dad was going to drive me to a hockey game, and I was like in the evening, and I was trying to record onto cassette the Kill 'Em All, Metallica's Kill 'Em All record. And I hadn't got through it yet. It's like, Ryan, come on, go. We're going to be late. I'm like, but it's Metal Militias. I haven't got that yet. You know? And at that point, I said, I'm just growing my mullet, and I'm just going to dedicate myself to music. Screw these sports. I mean, I wasn't that great anyway. I mean, I was kind of like Wayne Gretzky on my team.
Tier 4's Gretzky.
Tier 4's Gretzky. So I'll explain. Wayne Gretzky. Some people don't know. He's banned anyway. But
Dwayne Gretzky.
That's right. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Continue, Rybo.
But so we had the tier system. I don't know if they have that anymore. Now everyone, I don't know if they all play. I don't know how they do it. But back then you had tier 1, which was basically like the NHL prospects. You had like tier 2, which were like not quite Ted Irvins. You had tier 3, which was like the goons, and then tier 4 was like all the other people that paid to play. So you basically had, there's some good players on there, but Michael Reimer was on my team, who was like ankle bender. The only way he wouldn't fall over was to have his stick on the ice. So he was like basically like a tripod. He had to have three things down. Total ankle bender, and he never touched the puck, I don't think, unless it accidentally hit him. But his dad was the coach one year, and he used to sit on the bench smoking a pipe, and we'd all be, we're like, 13-year-old kids, and there's just cloud of like pipe smoke there, and just like
Rybo, quick question for you. What would Gabe Halderson, what might he say if he saw Michael Reimer playing hockey?
So, Michael, I see you playing a bit of hockey. When you shoot the puck, you shoot the puck and I'll catch it. Because I play goalie. So. Man,
That's a new bit.
That's an old bit.
Oh, we're bringing it back, baby.
Bringing it back. Here we are back. So, but I want to, I was a great player. Like I said, Wayne Gretzky. Sometimes they pull me up. We would have there was no contact in tier 4. That's the other thing. No hitting. There was no hitting. So sometimes I get called up to tier 3 because they need players or something. And, I wasn't the worst player on the team, but there's some guys that weren't as good as me, but they were at least big, hulky guys that could, play defense or something to be hard.
Real guys.
Real men. I just want to listen to Metallica. But anyway, the one guy that was on our team that was kind of the all-star, the Wayne Gretzky, was Colby Climack. He was one of these. He was freakishly tall for his age. He was like the guy who had like a mustache in grade 9.
Yeah.
There was one time, I'll tell you a quick story. We were at Alana Heisey's party, and Ryan Minkus sent him to the vendor, and he said, "Hey, go get a 2 for a beer." And he went there on his bike, and he came back, and he was riding. He had it under his arm. And he was just crying his eyes out. He's like, my arm hurt so bad. My arm hurt so bad, but I wasn't going to drop it. But my arm hurt so bad. Like, you could have taken a break, Colby. But anyway, let's get back to sports. So he was faster than anyone. He was the fastest ankle bender skater in the world. Like he ankle bend, but he was so tall.
The tier 4 star. I love it. He's in jeans.
He did breakaways all the time. He just did breakaways all the time. And he had an unorthodox style. So one time he was like, no one was even near him. Like everyone's behind the red line. He's at the top of the blue line, takes a wrist shot and hit the ceiling of the Civic Center.
Jeez.
He hit
the ceiling.
You know how hard that would be to do?
Like, it's like 50 feet high.
That's ridiculous. Another time too, he went around. No one was around him, and he did the wraparound. He went around the goal and he scored.
Wow!
Yeah.
A couple points.
The goalie was smoking a doobie and just spaced out.
Did one of the best things. A guy wearing jeans. Remember the really shitty kids who just wear jeans to play hockey? They don't do equipment.
Good call.
And there was no regulations. And I loved all those guys like that Colby Climack or Martin Hall in grade 8 had a full beard, and he was our age, which was just insane.
So I played hockey for a while as well. Obviously, my dad, as you mentioned, Ted Irvin, NHL hockey player. Instantly, that means that, well, if your dad played in the NHL, then you must be ready for the NHL as well. Unfortunately, it was not. I was a tier 3er, though. And I remember one of my biggest moments of my career is my dad was coaching, and I scored the overtime goal in the playoffs, and I just got mobbed by all my team. It was like the one moment in hockey where I felt like a hero. Most of the rest of the time I was a zero. Like when they finally got a hockey team in Westwood, it was called the Westwood Warriors, and I tried out in grade 11, and Bud Lindell, that son of a bitch, was the coach, and some other loser chemistry teacher with glasses. They'll have glasses, those guys. And I was on the team, and I remember like they were like kind of laughing at me how bad I was. And Dave Salamanca and Glenn Emmons were the top guys, and they used to call me Snipe. Hey, what's up, Snipe? Because Snipe is a guy who like scores all the goals, right. And they called me Snipe because I think I touched the puck once during the whole season.
That's funny.
That's kind of like when you call a fat guy tiny.
Exactly. And usually, I was I was never a big kid, but I had the Irvin, heart where I'll just hit anything. And these now in high school, these guys are big guys, like you said, they're knocking me down all over the place. And years later, they did this like when they were stars for WWE, where they went back to Westwood and filmed some stuff. And they got this Bud Lindell guy going, yeah, well, geez, we thought he'd be a better hockey player. Glad he turned out to be a better wrestler than he was a hockey player. And I was like, you four-eyed,
what a jerk
guy.
He already was mean to you then. He's going to be mean to you again. Bud Lindell, banned. You're banned from Winnipeggers. You're banned from the show.
Mr. Lindell is banned from the show. Now that's effing huge.
Whoever the chemistry teacher is, we'll find out. We'll find out who you were, too, with the glass eye. You're banned as well.
We'll have to find that.
Banned.
We'll have to find it and put him on the banned list as we've updated it this week. We have some extra people on there. Willie Tyre and Lester, Golden Earring, fake Jason Voorhees, Wayne Gretzky, Hannah Ann Sluice, and the random Playboy model who did not send in a cameo for the second time, so she's banned twice.
Wow. She is.
They sent this letter and said, like, hey, I've been they said random Playboy model's been very active lately. You should hit her again. So I'm like, okay, I'll bite. I hit her again. Nothing. Expired once again. So she's banned. So I then left hockey, and I remember before that, going into grade 10, me and Warren Rumple, Scott Ian's favorite guy, said, like, okay, I remember we were sitting in the back of class, and we got to play school sport. Okay, let's play a school sport. Like, chicks like school sport guys, right? Well, in Westwood before,
curling was full.
Curling was full. And
I was meeting all the babes.
And all they had was basketball, which Dave played, volleyball, which I don't know anybody who played that, and water polo. They had no football, they had no hockey, nothing like that. All they had was water polo and basketball and volleyball. So Warren and I joined the water polo league. Now water polo, this is us in water polo right there. I'm on the left, Warren's on the right. And water polo is very hard because it's not what you think. Like, you can't like walk on the bottom of the pool, which is what I thought. You're actually swimming back and forth for up to 5 minutes. And this was co-ed as well. Yes. So unless there's a goal scored or a penalty, sometimes you could be swimming back and forth in this giant pool for up to 5 minutes. Now that might not seem super hard, but trust me when I tell you, it's really fucking hard to do. And also too, it was kind of co-ed, as Dave mentioned. So girls would be under the there you go. That's proof. There you can see the water polo headline.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because the other photo looked like it was from the late 1800s. You couldn't tell anything. Worst definition ever.
Rybo got me that out of the yearbook. So.
Oh yeah.
So they swimming, and there'd be these girls swimming, and they would be kicking you under the water where the ref can't see you, kicking you in the nuts and trying to like grab your balls and squeeze them and stuff, and not in a good way. So then you would just start swimming over top of them. So you'd just be swimming over these chicks and like dunking them. Like, talk about Me Too. You can never play that then.
What the hell?
It was crazy. And also too, so the other one was you had to wear a Speedo to play water polo. And Warren and I were like, we're not wearing Speedos. Like, that's ridiculous. You know, little scrawny little guys. You know, we used to go Warren geek physique because he had like a little skinny body. And like, we're not wearing these freaking like Speedos where you can see our units. You know, so what we would do is first we just wanted to wear like, you know, like board shorts, and like you can't do that because
slows you down.
It slows you down.
You got to get in the tight bikini bottoms, a couple virgins and some Speedos.
Exactly. Virgins and Speedos. That's the Bad Album Covers episode next week. So we would wear a towel to the edge of the pool, take the towel off and jump in.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Before anybody can see us. And I remember the last thing about water polo is that the chlorine was so bad, and we'd get up early, like 6 or 7 more for practice. And I had still wool hair as it was, but that's one of the reasons why it was so frizzy and wiry, is because you go swimming in this chlorine. And if it was like, you know, January, February, you get out, what happens? You try and dry it off, but you know, it's still a little bit long. You go outside, and then it freezes.
Yeah. So
So it's fried and then it's frozen. By the time you get to school, you're freaking, you know, Ronald McDonald, man. And it's not a good look. But so the last thing was we did this sport to try and pick up chicks. And there was actually a couple of chicks in the class, in the sport, and not, not great chicks. But there was one hot chick, and this might have been we went and played city water polo. So we were on like the whole St. James team, and there was one girl there, typical Warren, blonde hair, very busty. He loves blonde hair chicks with big boob skis. And so we have a tournament where we're going to Saskatoon. We're swimming back to Saskatoon.
Nice.
And everyone's all signed up and ready to go. There you go. And I find out that weekend when the tournament's in Saskatoon is when Metallica is coming to the Playhouse Theater on the Master of Puppets tour in 1986 with Metal Church opening.
Wow.
And when I had the tickets, Cliff Burton was still alive, and he passed away in September. And that show was, I think, in November or early December. And I remember I was like, I can't miss Metallica. Like, I got to go. And my mom was like, you got to go play water polo. I'm like, I got to see Metallica. I got to go. And Warren decided to go play water polo in Saskatoon. And I was like, whatever, dude. I went to the show.
Never looked back.
Never looked back. Great show. The mentors were standing right beside me with their masks on.
Wow.
Warren went and played the water polo tournament, and he ended up having sexual relations with the blonde with big boobs.
Yeah.
So it's like,
in the wild.
Out in the wild.
6 of one, half dozen of another, right?
Yeah, that's great.
Right.
So there you go, man. And also, too, Rybo, we were supposed to go skiing in Panorama with Chad and Todd, and we were leaving Winnipeg to go to Yorkton to pick them up to go to BC. And I, too, was recording Master of Puppets right when it came out. I brought it home after school. And instead of just buying the cassette, because I bought the album and I put it on cassette, and my dad was like, we got to go. I was like, it's almost over. So my Master of Puppets for the first 2 weeks I listened had half of Orion and No Damage Incorporated.
That's hilarious. That's great.
So there you go, guys. There's a little bit of sports action there. We thank you guys for joining in. I mean, God, we have probably 50 more sports stories. I didn't even go into my baseball career yet.
Right. Yeah.
Career.
We didn't talk about Richard Leducer, our coach, and all of this stuff. But
Oh, man.
it was a great show. Thank you to the great Baron von Raschke, who joined it this week. Don't forget about Consumers Distributing. You can buy pencils there. Oh, Ryan's got a trophy. Where'd you get that trophy from?
Heritage Victoria.
Hey, Ryan, you want to sell shirts or just show trophies here?
I'll sell this if anybody wants to buy this trophy. Just hit Dave up, I guess, on.
Yeah, great. I get to take care of everything. Call Lon.
It's your show, man.
Hit Dave. And don't forget about ProWrestlingTees.com/Chris Jericho. Dave, tell us about some of this merch before we go this week.
I had not washed this shirt yet, and I washed it today, and I mean, it's even a step better. I can't believe it. It's the best shirt I've ever owned, and it really will take care of your ailments. Anxiety, you don't have money, you'll instantly get money. It is the shirt.
It just doesn't cost money. It makes money.
It makes everything, man. It makes love to you. This shirt can make love to you, so it does everything.
That shirt pays you to wear it, basically.
Yeah. And I see people around town. We see you wearing them all over the place. So it doesn't matter where we are. We see
Everywhere.
these shirts.
Out in the
Greece.
wild.
Someone in
Go out in
Greece
the
was just
wild,
wearing
and there
them.
they are.
Yeah.
I think Todd and Pat will probably buy some shirts this week. And but next week, like we said, we got a fun show for you guys. Bad album covers. Some of the worst bands' album covers. Bad album covers. Yeah, some of the worst album covers by bands.
Written by Dave.
Written by Dave. So we'll see you next week, and go check out some curling. I bet you really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get loaded first. See you,
Good night.
family.